The day a failing juice stand changed how I see business forever. You don't need an office to start a business. You don't even need a big idea. Sometimes, all you need is a table, a few bottles, and a dream that refuses to sleep. Tonight, we're not talking about billion-dollar startups. We're talking about a wooden stand, a blender, and a young man who decided that doing something, even small, was better than doing nothing. Welcome to the Entrepreneur's Pillow. Stories to fall asleep with and wake up inspired. This is The Juice Stand. A story about beginnings that don't look like success until one day, they do. He woke up earlier than usual. The streets were quiet, covered in a soft orange light. He placed a small table under a tree, set down a blender, and a few bottles filled with juice. Orange, pineapple, mango. No one stopped. Some people looked, then kept walking. By noon, the juice was warm, the blender was silent, and the coins on the table, barely enough for a sandwich. He felt something every entrepreneur knows, that strange mix of pride for trying and fear that maybe no one cares. That night, he couldn't sleep. He kept replaying the day in his head. Was it the flavor, the price, the place? He didn't know. But he knew this. Failure wasn't the end. It was feedback. The next morning, he tried again, and again, and again. For weeks, every day felt the same. A few smiles, a few polite, maybe later, and too many hours of doubt. But then, he started observing. He noticed that construction workers bought breakfast nearby, but by the time he opened, they were gone. So the next day, he arrived earlier, and for the first time, he sold 3 cups before 8 a.m. Not much, but it was progress. And that's how growth begins. Quietly, with small signs that whisper, keep going. He started asking people, what's your favorite fruit? What would you change? Some ignored him. Others answered honestly. He listened to all of it. And that's when he learned something no book had ever taught him. Entrepreneurs who don't listen don't grow. But life doesn't reward effort immediately. One week it rained hard. The street was empty. His sign fell. His blender broke. The few fruits he had left rotted in a box. He almost gave up. He thought about getting a safe job, one with a salary, no risk, no rain. But something whispered, you started this for a reason. So he took a notebook and wrote down everything that went wrong, not to complain, but to understand. That's when he realized improvement begins when you stop blaming luck and start studying your mistakes. The next morning, he taped the blender together, cleaned his stand, and made himself a quiet promise. I'll keep going until I learn something valuable, even if it's not money. Weeks passed. Sales were better, but still unstable. Then one evening, scrolling through his phone, he saw an ad, colorful, funny, full of life. He thought, if big brands can make people smile, maybe I can too. He grabbed a marker and wrote, fresh juice, good price, made with heart. He added a few drawings, a bright yellow background, and hung it proudly behind him. It wasn't perfect, but it made people stop. A woman smiled and said, I love your sign. She bought 2 juices. That's when he learned. Marketing isn't about shouting. It's about showing you care. Months passed. He wasn't rich. He wasn't famous. But he had something more valuable. Rhythm. He had discipline. He had customers who returned. He had days of doubt and days of quiet pride. One evening, while closing his stand, he caught his reflection in the blender's glass. Tired eyes, sweaty shirt, but a small, honest smile. he realized something powerful. The stand had changed him more than he had changed it. Because every entrepreneur, before building a business, is building themselves. If you're listening to this tonight and your dream feels small, remember this. You don't need applause. You don't need luck. You need consistency. Every day you show up, you're planting roots. And even if the world doesn't see them yet, they're growing. The best entrepreneurs aren't the ones who start fast. They're the ones who stay. The ones who quietly improve when nobody's watching. There will be rainy days. There will be silence. There will be doubt. But those aren't signs to stop. They're part of the process that shapes you. Maybe your stand looks empty. Maybe your idea hasn't worked yet. But one day, you'll look back and realize these hard days were the ones that built you. Don't rush. Don't compare. Just keep mixing your own recipe, day after day. Because success isn't served cold. It's blended slowly, with patience, mistakes, and heart. Sleep well, dreamer. Tomorrow your stand opens again. And this time, you'll know a little more than yesterday. You've been listening to The Entrepreneur's Pillow. Good night.